I'm John the Liquidator. This is the Liquidator Report, man. I hope everybody having a great Sunday today. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about that has been transpiring. News that is NBA coaches address that went down in Minnesota. Now we had two NBA coaches address this during their press conference at the conclusion of NBA games. Many people was pointing fingers at Adam Silver because a lot of people saying that lawsuits could be heading the NBA way. That is from the government, man. Now, we do know it was a tragic incident that went down in Minneapolis. I'm sending my thoughts and prayers out to all of the families that was affected by this situation. Now, it is a lot that has been weighing in on our country, but a lot of people in sports have been speaking out about this. We talked about Steve Kerr in numerous times in the past speaking out about political issues. We even have ESPN Stephen A. Smith caught himself in Charlotte as well speaking about it. Now we have Doc Rivers as well. He was one of the first coaches to speak out about it. Now, we don't see this stuff in NFL, hockey, MLB, but for some reason, it is always NBA coaches speaking out about the matter. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying when political stuff surrounds sports, it's never a good look. I just got to be honest because your words could be taken out of context. People may feel a certain type of way about it, and you could ultimately affect the viewership and people supporting your team. That's why you really want to leave politics out of sports. But whatever the case may be, Steve Kerr and Doc River made it their business to speak about these matters. Fox News reports NBA coach call ICE agents shooting of Minnesota agitator murder. It is shameful that the government can come out and lie about what happened. Steve Kerr went scorched earth regarding the shooting of Minnesota agitator by an ICE agent, even calling it murder after the game this past Friday. Now, Steve Kerr and Doc Rivers, like I stated, spoke about this. Let's listen to exactly what Steve Kerr had to say. Let's roll the footage.
Well, I'm glad that the Timberwolves, recognized, her life and the tragic nature of her death, and it's shameful, really, that in our country we can have law enforcement officers who commit murder and seemingly get away with it. It's shameful that the government can come out and lie about what happened when there's video and witnesses who have all come out and disputed what the government is saying. So very demoralizing, devastating to lose anyone's life, especially in that matter. So it's terribly sad for her family and for her and for that city. And I'm glad the Timberwolves came out and expressed that sadness. Well, I'm glad that the Timberwolves, recognized.
Steve Kerr at the game this Friday night speaking about the matter. Let's head on back to Fox. It goes into what the article says. It goes on to say Good was killed while operating a vehicle that agents had ordered her to exit, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Christy Nome. Good, according to Nome, refused and attempted to run over the officer with her vehicle. Now, during the Timberwolves game, a moment of silence, one fan in attendance yelled, "Go home, ICE." Another yelled, "F ICE," and tears erupted. So I'm guessing this was the scene that took place at the game. And yeah, man, this was the young lady here. Now, a lot of footage has been released in regards to that entire situation, which I'm not finna play the footage, not even finna go down the timeline with that. Now, this is what Doc Rivers said that kind of got him into some hot waters. Doc Rivers said ICE murdered a 100% innocent woman on her way home. The NBA is broken and keeps lighting its boards on fire. This is 100% untrue. Let's listen.
You know, what happened in Minnesota was a straight up murder, in my opinion. And it's awful. This lady was probably trying to go home and she didn't make it home, and that's really sad. So the whole ICE thing it's a travesty. It's clearly, to me, we're attacking brown people, and I just happen to be brown. And I don't think
I gotta stop you right here because I haven't heard this whole thing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have not heard that whole thing. But he said they're attacking brown people. But the young lady that passed away was a Caucasian lady, bro. She wasn't even brown. She was white. I just got to keep it real here, Doc Rivers. You got to keep it real, bro. I just got to be honest, man. I'm not trying to be on either side, but, you kind of stretched the truth there a little bit.
Brown people who are upset at this. I think we all have to be. I don't care what side of this thing you are on politically. What's going on in our country right now is absolutely wrong as far as the race stuff. The politics, I'm not going to get into. The race stuff, I will, and it's just wrong, and we have to do something. But the only thing we can do right now is keep speaking up, because it doesn't seem like they care. And that's troublesome. Last thing I'm going to say, because I don't want to stay on this, but I could. I keep thinking about kids. And when I grew up, the president was always the role model. And I think about that and the effect of being a bully, lying. How is that good for our kids? And that worries me for our future.
So that was Doc River, man, speaking about this entire situation. I feel like Adam Silver is definitely going to be facing some backlash from the government. And in his current state with these NBA investigations, we all be forgetting that the NBA is currently under a microscope with this gambling thing. That whole thing that went out the window, everybody forgot about that. I don't think Adam Silver really liked them speaking about these issues, at least at this time. I could be wrong, but this is not a time for the NBA to be pissing off the Trump administration, bro. Knowing that y'all is under a microscope for the sports gambling thing. I just got to be honest, man. This is just not a good look at all. Not even remotely for Adam Silver, because we know he had to go speak to Capitol Hill. This was back in October, and now he got to pretty much, next time he talked to the media, he's going to have to talk about two coaches in his league speaking about political issues, man. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Get down in the comment section right now. Let me know y'all thoughts about this. I am John the Liquidator. This has been another episode of the Liquidator Report. Make sure you guys keep your bells on, because I'm coming back with even more Liquidator Report content. Like always, man, shake the haters off. Peace out.